Hello, welcome back to Guns and Outdoors channel. I hope you are doing well out there. We got our hands on some unobtainium, at least at the time of this video. It's the Holosun 507 Competition Red Dot. It was released in SHOT Show 2023. Everybody's been waiting about 6-7 months for these to come out, and they are sold out everywhere. So the good news is they're out. Bad news is they're hard to find. So I'm gonna tell you now, if you find one, you need to go on and pick yourself up one. This particular guy is the Holosun 507 Competition. It's gonna come in green. We're gonna install it on a pistol, talk about the features, then we're gonna take it to the range and shoot it. First impressions, all right? So go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel and stand by. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a quick stroll down memory lane. Think of your iron sights when we had fiber optic rods, we had tritium vials, we had all the different color front inserts, we had black dot rears, we had 3 dots, 1 dot, we had the whole kit and caboodle, right? So everybody could be front sight focused when they're shooting their pistol. Now that we're going into the red dot game, we're all starting to see some definitive trends there as well. On the concealed carry side, we're seeing small, less printable, but durability, long battery life. We want auto shutoffs, we want instant on, we want auto adjustments. We're craving all those advanced features. Same thing on the competition side. We're starting to see a trend now to go with larger glass. When you go with larger windows, it's going to give you a competitive advantage. You're going to be able to not necessarily focus on the red dot itself, but the single focal plane, which is what's downrange. It's going to allow you at varying distances to get on target and make your hits. Larger windows, even if you're training with new shooters that are learning now to pick up the dot, right? Natural point of aim. If you're looking through a smaller dot, your presentation and your grip angle could be off. So therefore you're doing this swirly swirl, where's my dot? I can't find it type of thing. And then there's various things to kind of combat that. Training, support hand, grip pressure, presentation, or you just getting in your reps and putting in the amount of time, right? Hundreds and hundreds or thousands of reps to bring the gun up to your line of sight so that you're not turning the gun left, right, up, down to find it. Larger window sized optics make everything much easier to shoot. So that's where this 507 competition comes into play. For the red dot game, we've got a few popular options already. We've got the Romeo 3 Max. The problem is it's really expensive. I got a lot of buddies that shoot those. They run them, but they're in the 600s or the high 5s. We've got the tried and true Trigicon SRO. You've seen me run a lot of those on the channel. Those are very expensive as well. They're in the mid 400s. When it comes to this Holosun 507, when you finally get one to try out for yourself, the cool part is the price is there. As typical, what Holosun is doing with the innovation is they're driving the price down and they're giving you a lot of features. So at the time of this video, you're able to see them, if you can find them in stock, for roughly 369 bucks. So, you know, game changing. Look at that guy. It's awesome. It's got a good look to it, but it is huge. It has their tool. You're going to need that. It doesn't use a bullet casing, which like the Leupold Delta Point Pros. You got to use their tool to get your fine-tune adjustments when you're confirming your zero when you go to the range. It is going to come with a standard out of the factory at 25-yard zero, but you always want to confirm that. I recommend 25 feet zero personally, and that's kind of a modern samurai method. A lot of the guys I know and shoot with, that's what we zero our red dots in. CNC milled 7075 aluminum housing. It looks very thick, durable, quality. Yeah, side load battery compartment. It's gonna have 8 brightness settings. So 8 brightness settings. Again, this one is green. And it's gonna have 2 night visions. Night vision's nothing special. It's not like it's an extra diode in there or LED. It's just so low that your eye can't detect it, but yet your night vision that amplifies light can. So pretty good if you have that. It is IP67 rated. If you dropped it in water or you're outside, I think that's good down to 3 feet. It's got some drain holes in there. I thought that was kind of interesting. Yeah, as if you can't just wipe it out or turn the gun sideways. So you got your drain holes in there. Enjoy that feature. Buttons are on the side, very tactile. You heard the audible. Sounds pretty good. Battery life, 50,000 hours. And as I said earlier, with the steep competition going on with the Leupold Delta Point Pros and Romeo Max and the SROs, this guy's going to be the cheapest of the bunch. It's a large dot game, and we're now in it. If I didn't already say it, the adjustments for when it's in elevations is 1 MOA. 25 yards, that's 8 clicks, 4 clicks. Anywhere between 8 and 4 will get you on. It's the footprint. Everybody likes it. RMR, SRO, Trigicon footprint. This is going on my buddy's pistol. This is not an installation video, but he does have an HK VP9. In this case, VP9L. I'm installing it for him since I have the digital adjustment tool. But standard Holosun footprint. It's awesome. If I can just find the holes and line it up. There it is. It's kind of a preview. Look how that's going to look. It's going to be awesome. That's what we're shooting today at the range. All right, let's talk about power save options. We've got the classic shake awake. Almost that term is now the industry gold standard. Everybody associates all manufacturers with shake awake, but that is a patented trademark term that Holosun uses. When there is no movement, this guy will shut off after 10 minutes. That is programmable. You can go to, on that sleep timer, to 1 hour, 12 hours, or permanently disable that if that's your boat. When the battery starts to get low after those 50,000 hours or whatever setting you've been running it on, it's going to blink slowly. That's how you know it's time to change it. It is an open emitter design versus closed emitter. We're not going to talk about today. We know closed emitter is where it's ultimately at for combat setups. But for competition setups, large glass, this is where it's at. It gives you that threat focus, that target focus. It's not going to impede your vision. And you're just going to be looking right down range. And you're going to be on it. You're going to be excited. All right, red dots are the future. That future is now, as I like to say, competition world. This is a very budget-friendly, affordable option. Now, we do know this is made overseas. That's part of it. But as I always say, so are our iPhones. There are US options like the Leupold and Cuda. I've done those reviews on my channel. If you want to support those companies, then you can certainly go that way. That's one of my faves to introduce the Delta Point Pro. You can see that the body is very similar. Look at that. You'd almost say there's very, very similar. I'll show you a couple observations. Look at the deck, the base. A lot thinner. So it's going to pull this down into your height of rabord type of thing. So that's a plus here. And then also from the back, they look very similar in terms of windows, but when you get to the front, that's when it really starts to shine. The 507 competition. Glass is just bigger. The specs on it, this guy, 0.71 of an inch high. And then over here, from a width perspective, we're 1.05. Here, we're 0.87 high, and then we're 1.1 in width. So the dimensions are there. If you look closely, you see a lot more glass. This is the way to go. I have a few options on the table here. We've got our 507 comp. We've got our Leupold Delta Point Pro. Just go ahead and look at the best you can, height, size comparisons. Over here, I've got the 507C, 507K, classic Trigicon RMR, and then an EPS carry. You can see how they get bigger, smaller as we go to the left, and vice versa as we pan back the other way. I'll go ahead and just show you kind of the, if I can spin them around. Just take one last visual comparison of these guys on the bench here in the studio. Here we go. Yeah, there's our size differences. What do you think? Putting that on this HK VP9? Looks like it was meant to be there. It looks freaking great. So let's look at it. Huge window, big window. Wow. And I can have a problem seeing what's downrange with this guy. Installation was a breeze. Standard Holosun footprint, as we talked about. Hangs off a little bit on the edges there. But man, actually looks like it fits really well, don't you think? Like that's great. All right, one thing left to do. Time to go to the range. Shoot it. First thought, brother.
First thought is the window is markedly bigger and it's nice. And I do like the green, even though mine is the red.
Uh-huh.
But I like it. Haven't shot it yet, but I like it.
Now you already own that, right?
I do own the same gun and the same, I own the optic, I just haven't put it on my gun yet.
All right, Jack, what do you think?
Well, I also own the same gun, but this is the first time I've seen this optic. And I like it a lot because it's very well defined. It's not blooming, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I've never shot one with a green, but I think I really like it a lot better than I thought I would.
Does your eye pick up the green versus the red, or?
Yeah, it does.
Huh.
It really does. I think I like it a lot.
Cool.
Yeah,
Would you consider buying that?
I would.
Yeah. And Robert, you already own it, so
I just haven't tried it on the gun
you just
yet.
haven't tried it yet. Gotcha.
But I think I'm going to like it now, having seen it.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to like it.
I'm more likely to buy it now. I wish you hadn't shown it to me.
Really?
It's not always the way.
Hey,
man.
this is someone else's. I'm going to pick mine up after doing the review. So I called Dale. I was like, does Point Blank have one? He goes, yes, we'll put one away. So I'm like, I'm in the same boat. I do a product review, now I have to go buy the thing. What is it?
The bigger surface area of the glass makes a huge difference. I think it's much easier to locate the dot.
We're at the range. We're going to do something special since we're running a competition dot. So Jack's the cameraman for me. We're going to run a plate rack. Hopefully I do as well as possible. I'll be on a timer. But here's the kicker. To test the dot, I'm going to run it with the 2 MOA dot. And then at the end, I'll switch it over and I'll reset, and we'll do a second string to see if I can get any faster with the 8th position reticle, which is the 32 MOA circle with the dot. Sound good? Let's just see. I'm in close. We're roughly 30 feet. So let's come on back. You can see downrange. We got our plate rack. And let me just make sure I'm going to load and make ready. Present. Yep, I'm on the regular dot. Okay, and we'll do it from the holster.
Okay, shooter ready?
I don't do this every day. I'm ready as possible. Let's do it. All right, got my hits. I know I was a little slow, but that dot, it was nice and green. Stood out really well. All right, that was the 2 MOA dot.
And your time was 5.93.
Sweet. Let's go ahead and reset. Here we go. God, I love that. Okay, so hang with me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit that minus sign like I did in that tabletop. I'm going to cycle through it. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. It's going. 4. Where else can you get a dot instead of buying one? You get to try everything. How cool is that? All right, 32 MOA. I don't know if you can see that, but that's what I'm looking at versus a regular dot. I'll pull it back. There you go. Nice and fuzzy. All right, let's keep it rolling, Jack.
Okay, shooter ready?
Ready. Ooh, got off to a fuzzy start, but it certainly was faster.
Well, your time was 6.16.
Oh, what was my first one?
5.9.
Oh, so I botched it on the beginning, but definitely on the makeup, boom, 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 a lot faster. So to me, it makes a significant difference, this dot, if you're in competition and you're really gaming it. You're working your match, you're doing stage planning, and you have enough time to select a reticle that you want. I think the bigger reticles, all I did was put a big circle on that target and it cleaned it right up. I don't know, guys, something to think about, you know, if you're still stuck on a regular 2 MOA, 4 MOA, or 6 MOA. All right, guys, for the grand finale, we ran the plate rack. I felt like the bigger dot did work for me up close, even though I bobbled it a little bit. Didn't want to redo it. I don't try to give you the perfect shots. You see what you got, and that's what you get. Now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna run it because we can ring still, it's always awesome. I've got 2 A-zone silhouettes down there. There's roughly 75 feet, 25 yards. On that note, let's give it a go. You got your timer, Jack?
Yep.
Okay.
Shooter ready?
Yeah. Whoa. There you go. So we're going to leave it there. It's always about having fun. Listen, I read a quote in an article that this is a type of big dot in terms of screen size that, unlike if you're spending all the money on the Romeo 3 Max and the Trigicon SROs, if you purchase this based upon the price difference at $365, this one won't have you eating ramen noodles. So on that note, let me know if you have this. Please like and subscribe to the channel. And as always, take care of yourselves. Until next time, we're out of here. See ya.